spoofing is a man-in-the-middle attack. That's as simple as it is. So what here we do is that the hacker will somehow try to get into your network, and he will listen to all the traffic that is going on between you and the other devices. So if a hacker wants to perform an ARP attack, first he will send the ARP request or ARP replay to all the devices that are available. So let's say now the hacker has decided to hack this device. So what he will do first, once he gets access to the your network, he will check what are the devices available, and he will figure out one particular device or multiple device as per his requirement, and he will start to plan the attack. So this attack involves sending continuous ARP replay. Okay, so he will be continuously sending multiple ARP replays to user on the gateway device, usually to the routers, so that what happens is the user's ARP table will get updated. So what this hacker does is he will send ARP replay to user stating that um, uh, this is the router's IP address, which would be the valid one, and he will also send his own MAC address. Therefore, whenever this user device searches for MAC address of the router's IP address, it will eventually forward the data to the hacker's MAC address, because the hacker's MAC address is being available in the ARP table. Similarly, he does the same thing. He will send the he will send the same request to the gateway to update the user's IP address to his own MAC address. Therefore, whatever request that the gateway receives from external network, it will send it to the hacker. So, as per the user device, it is communicating to the gateway and a router, and as per to the router, it is communicating to the user. So that's what these devices think. But due to this ARP poisoning, the hacker gets into this communication, and he will get the ability to see all of these data. So if this attack was a very prevalent attack in during 2010s, but again, that was the time when the HTTP was prevalent. And once HTTP was started rolling, this attack lost its significance, because if it's a HTTPS, it's always encrypted, and even if you see the data, most of the data would be in non-readable format. So in that case, it has reduced its prevalent, but still it's still an attack which could be used for multiple other purposes as well. And also for DNS spoofing, what happens is that we can manipulate the DNS cache to update certain data. For example, he can point the if you have your internal login page, let's say, so loginportal.com, he can point that loginportal.com website to his own website. Therefore, when you enter loginportal.com and enter, it will somehow redirect your request to his own website. Therefore, you will receive in the web page of the hacker. So if at all you type anything in that page, it would be malicious. Okay, enough of talking. I'll show you everything in the practical, so that it could be much easier. So this is my Kali Linux. So we shall do our attacks here. So I'll log in. Give me a moment. Yeah, so this is my application, and from here on we can perform all of our attack. So I'll just open my terminal, and so for this attack I'll be utilize I'll so there are like wide range of tools perform ARP spoofing. So we have the infamous dsniff tools, or we have this ettercap, but we are going to use the most recent and most advanced tool, which is bettercap. So with this bettercap, we can, you know, the ARP spoofing or even the DNS spoofing will become much easier. So what I'll do is I have already installed bettercap. If you haven't installed bettercap, then you can proceed to install bettercap. So once you install it, you can just enter bettercap and enter. This is the bettercap interface, and here you can see the actual IP. So this is my IP address, and okay, so let's say you have just connected to your local network. For example, you might have connected to a coffee shop, or it's in the railway station, bus station, somewhere. Anyway, so once you connect them, what you can do is, like, of course, it should be done in your only for the training purpose, not for the actual hacking. And this doesn't have much of an effect in today's real world, but yeah, it's always good to know how the things work. So yeah, so now here you can perform something called nmap. So you can utilize this nmap to get what are the devices that are available in your network. So there is a command for nmap. This is stealth mode. So if you put hyphen small s capital S and enter your gateway IP address, you will get all the devices that are available in your environment, and you can get the IP address of whichever device you want. So if not, there is also a command here in the better cap. So it's like net.probe net.probe command. So I can show you that. So net.probe. So when I enter, you can see that with this net.probe, you can also get all the devices that are the part of this gateway device. So this is also where you can identify what are the devices that are running in your environment. Since I already know which device I'm going to hack, I'm not going to run this command. So I'll just move to the next. So here there are like two major things that I'll be doing. One, to set up the ARP spoof message. So in the previous slides I mentioned, right? So first, this hacker will send continuous ARP replay message to the devices. Therefore, the latest data, which is his own MAC, will be available on all the devices. So that is an ARP message that needs to be sent always. That is one thing. And second thing is, I should listen to this their network traffic, right? So once you update it, you will start listening to your network traffic. But to listen to that, I'll use some stiff sniff tools to listen to the traffic that is being flowing between them. Okay, so this is the idea. And now let me start with the ARP. So we have this. If you go to help ARP underscore snow spoof. Okay. So if you can see, this is the command to start the spoof, and I'll be I'll be starting it in a full duplex mode. Okay, I'll be starting it in this full duplex mode. So that's there. And yeah, so therefore I can just listen both the ways. So I'll first set these uh, attributes. So I'll set ARP. So it's just an attribute that you can set. So I'll just set true. So now I set the attribute. Now I can go ahead and proceed with the starting it. No, before starting it, I also should mention which target IP, right? So I'll just put ARP snoof target, and now I can enter the target. So my target device is my Windows device, which is 172.20.224.154, I guess. Yeah, I think that's the IP address. We'll see. And when I enter, so this is the IP address that is being saved. So now we have told the better cap to which device we have to target, and we have the target device. And now let me set up the sniffing tool as well. So now I know the target device. Now I'll set the sniffing tool. Therefore, I can read the data that is being sent. So I'll enter data.sniff. Yes, and if sniff. And here is I just need to check all my local commands. So my local devices, because all the data is being transferred to my local device, right? So I'll just set it true. And yeah, so these are the things that I need to set for ARP's snooping. So once I set, I can just start the ARP snoof. Then I can just click on enter. Yeah, now the snooping has started. Now continuous packets will be sent to the ARP snooping device. So once I start it, I'll also start the sniffing as well. So net sniff, yes, the sniff on. Yeah. So now I on. So I have successfully went through. I have successfully hacked, you can say. and now I can see all the data that is being sent between my Windows device and to the internet, onto the gateway. So here the thing is, since most of our communication will be in HTTPS, you may not able to see the data of these links. However, you can see which website that my device is accessing. So that itself is a great thing, right? So for example, I'll just try to access some website. Me log into my Windows device. See, so what I did is I just logged into my device and I ran. I mean, I just refreshed my window Chrome device. So now we can see all the website or devices that I accessed. So these are the things. And if you scroll down, so you can see there is a website, and here you can see a username and password. So this is like an HTTP website that I intentionally accessed, and I entered the username and password over there. And therefore, since it's just an HTTP website, you can see the username and password as it is. But if it's an HTTPS, this won't happen because of HSTS that is being in place. Also, the devices um, is encrypted. So this is the website that I logged in, just to for the testing purpose. And yeah, so this is how you can monitor all of your actions using the ARP poisoning or ARP uh, you know spoofing. Now we'll see the DNS spoofing. So we'll start with this. So I'll set the DNS snoof. So again, the naming are quite simple. So I'll just set since it's a DNS dot snoof. One second, I'll just get the help. DNS dot. Okay, so this is the one. So here my what is my agenda is I'm going to redirect one of the domain or the URL that customers or users enter to their Chrome to a malicious website. So in this case, I'm just going to redirect to some random website or just to my internal Apache server, I mean Apache web server, just to show you that it works. Yeah, so this is the thing. So I'll be utilizing this one. So here I can enter. First, I'll have to set the arguments, obviously. So I'll enter um, DNS of snoof dot domains. Yeah, domains. And here I can put anything. So for let's say we are targeting some local login portal. So I'll put login hyphen portal.com. So now we have mentioned, and I'll just click on enter. And once I enter, now it is set. So whenever I access this login hyphen portal, it will redirect to this Kali Linux Apache server because I have hosted an Apache server in this Kali Linux, and that is where it is. I can show you that as well. If you search for localhost, is the Apache web server that is I'm hosting. It's just a default page. If I want, I can also create some kind of login page here, and therefore if at all when the user redirects, I can just quickly check it. Okay, so actually I forgot a thing, so I didn't start the DNS sniff. So obviously we had just set the variable, right? So I hadn't start the variable. So for example, so this was the set login portal. I'll update my hyphen login. So this is my hyphen login portal. I now have set the DNS, but I didn't enable the spoof, right? So I'll just put DNS hyphen spoof on. And yeah, now it should work. So now we got this thing, my portal, my hyphen portal, login hyphen portal.com points to this Linux, Kali Linux IP address. Now let me share my Windows device. Okay, so this is my Windows device, and this was the website from which I generated those logs. Yeah, so I'll go. So what was it? Yeah, so it was like my login hyphen portal.com. com, and voila, here. See, have sent my request to this domain or this website, but it got redirected to the Apache page, which is hosted on the Kali Linux. Likewise, you can redirect the requests that are being sent by the user device to any website that hacker would like to. And in these website, there could be a possibility of having the login page or something like that. If you're in a hurry, or if in some scenario you might end up putting in your actual passwords, and you end up losing them, like it kind of a phishing attack. So these are the things that it could happen, and this is what the DNS spoofing. This is just a thing. It can redirect to any website, or it can do much more things. So this is one of the ways in which we can achieve the DNS spoofing. Yeah, so this is it from my end. Thank you so much. If you have any query, please let me know. I'll happy to address it. Thank you.